Get up to $2,000 off a new Tesla and run FSD yourself by visiting tesla.coupons in your web browser. Hey everyone, we're here with an all-new update that Tesla just put out today. This is FSD 13.2.2, and it comes with the holiday update, which is super exciting because it means all the AI4 cars with the holiday update can now receive FSD 13. And I expect that if everything's looking good, it will probably go wide to most of those cars in the next couple days. But is it good enough to go out? Let's find out. Let's take it for a first drive. I haven't tried it out yet, so we're going to go for a quick drive and see how it is. I'm here parked in Beverly Hills, and we're going to go drive into the Hollywood Hills, up into Laurel Canyon, and see how it performs. This is a 6-mile drive that should take about 25 minutes. So let's get started. So we just push the start FSD button. That's all you have to do when the car is in park. And then the car will just reverse. Make sure it's clear to go. And then pull out. Very nice. So it's very smooth. It's very gentle. Even when it's reacting to something it suddenly sees, it does it in a very smooth way. And you can just see all the Tesla Model Ys lining this street. A lot of them will probably be running the same software very soon. Nice winter day here in LA. Got a pretty tight street with a car coming, and the car slowed down and allowed that car to pass. Very nice. Didn't involve stopping or slowing down too much in an uncomfortable way. It slowed down just enough to let the other car pass. Let's see, is this in hurry mode? That would be an autopilot setting. Yeah, this is in hurry mode. I don't see the hurry at the top. I don't know if that's something they changed in this update, or maybe it just doesn't show all the time. Maybe while it's in the neighborhood and it's not hurrying, it doesn't say hurry. Alright, we turned onto the main street. Next we're going to have to make a left onto La Cienega Boulevard in half a mile. And you can see now it does say hurry now at the top. So I guess it started hurrying now, which I love. Because I'm always hurrying. One of the big reasons I've often turned it off is because it's driving too slow. So if you can actually make FSD hurry and drive faster, but still make safer choices than a human would make, then you actually let the user keep it on more often. And then you can have a greater safety benefit. And you need to be pretty assertive, pretty fast to keep up in LA traffic here, and this thing is starting to do this pretty well. So, honestly, I don't know how anyone in Southern California survives without this. Life would suck if you had to live here, you didn't have this type of technology that was helping you get around. So they've got some really good deals from now until the end of the year on new Teslas. You can get up to $2,000 off if you use a referral link. They've got the $7,500 EV tax credit. And there's that hurry mode I love. In old updates, it would get stuck there waiting for everyone to pass before it could get into that left turn lane. But here, FSD 13 was actually able to drive onto the other side of the street to get into the left turn lane, which is absolutely something a human driver would do here. And, this can make a big difference. See that? It's waiting to see. It was anticipating that that car was going to run the red light. So waited, let him run the red light, and then we continued. Its ability to predict other people's behavior is very strong. It could see that he wasn't slowing down. So, yeah, anyone can go lease one of these cars, a Model 3, for around $300 a month. And you can start running the software right now until the end of the year. It comes with 3 months of free FSD and 3 months of free supercharging. So you can have this car drive you anywhere you want, all across the country, until April, essentially. Have it drive you from LA to New York and back over and over for free. And if you take delivery by the end of the year, they're doing that for people. And you'll be able to run this same software, FSD 13, pretty soon, as that goes out to all the cars. So make sure to use the referral link under this video. That'll give you up to $2,000 off, $1,500 off a Model 3, $2,000 off a Cybertruck or Model S or X, and $1,000 off a Model Y. And you can already see so many Teslas here on the streets of LA. I think as people see what FSD 13 can do, this city's just going to be covered in them. Getting around is normally a stressful, chaotic experience. With this software, for the first time, it handles that chaos like it's nothing. You get a really smooth, comfortable ride. Even a chaotic urban environment, it is taking you around like you have a professional chauffeur. And, in more empty, rural highway environments, it's just heaven sent. When you just have to drive for hours and hours, and it just does it all for you. You can get comfortable, sit in whatever position you like, still be ready to take over. But it just eliminates a lot of fatigue. When I was driving my Cybertruck manually earlier this year and had to do long road trips, the comfort of the Cybertruck was great, but your arms and legs would just hurt in a way that just doesn't happen when you're driving one of the cars with FSD. So having to take over for a safety critical issue is now extremely rare. It's really about comfort, not missing turns, things like that. And we haven't really seen anything yet. This is just the V13 Mini. So they've got another version of V13, 13.3 or 13.4, that is going to scale up the Model 3X. That is going to scale up the context length 3X. Maybe that'll be 13.5. And that should be another major step forward. There's a lot of unused power in this AI4 computer that they can tap into. Alright, in 1 mile, we're going to make a right turn onto Fountain Avenue. And you know what I've really been surprised by with this update is you're seeing people give it good reviews, not just in California, but in Michigan, in Florida, in Missouri, all across the country. So this isn't like Waymo or Cruise where it's really only a few cities that you probably don't live in that support the technology. You can take this and just drive all across the country. You can go to some small town, you can go to some suburb, you can go wherever you want, and it's going to work. It's going to allow you to drive anywhere you can think of. And that's pretty unique. All it does is just look at what's in front of you and figure out how to drive. It doesn't require the whole area to be scanned. And that's what makes it so adaptable. Alright, less than half a mile until we turn onto Fountain, and then we're going to start heading up the hill in a little bit, which should be significantly more challenging. Whoa.
Oh, that was really smooth.
Do you see that? Yeah. It thought that that person was going to cut in front of us. It slowed down, expecting them to cut in front of us. It turned out they were just parking. So it continued without making a full stop. All in all, it reacted to a car jumping out unexpectedly without causing harsh braking. And that's what's really key, because, you know, in an urban environment, that kind of thing happens all the time. So if you don't have a system that can handle it well, you're going to have an uncomfortable ride for the passengers.
Also, it was courteous for that Suburban.
Yeah, it could see that that Suburban wanted to get out. It let it get out rather than kind of getting into a conflict with it. And you can see just how many Teslas there are, and you understand why. When you see the kind of gridlock that's common in this city, 24/7, 365, it makes sense. This is a major quality of life improvement. And honestly, I think anybody who spends any significant amount of time in a car is going to need this. There we go, another car jumping out at us. And again, it very smoothly slowed down. Then there was another car trying to pull out and turn right. It didn't stop for that car. So there's a lot of really complex judgments it has to make here, and it's able to slow down just enough to not hit anything while still creating a really comfortable ride and still hurrying and getting us to our destination. So it's very impressive. I mean, this city is anxiety inducing even for human drivers who've been driving for years and years. For somebody who's new to this city, this is going to make it a lot easier to adapt to getting around here when you have this kind of AI that can help you. So it becomes pretty clear, you know, this is what 13.2.2 is doing. We haven't even seen the larger size model. Tesla is going to launch a rideshare service with this technology. Whether it's, you know, unsupervised in certain places, I think California and Texas, but maybe also supervised in some other places where that could bring it to market faster. You know, you have someone in the driver's seat just for legal reasons essentially, but the software is still doing everything. And, you know, what could be the value of a Tesla rideshare service? So, you know, Uber did $164 billion in gross bookings if you take the run rate from the most recent quarter. So, you know, if you could cut the price of rideshare in half or more to the point where it actually falls under owning your own car, then what would the size of that market be? 500 billion, 750 billion, $1 trillion annually? I think there's certainly a path to hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue, if not trillions in revenue, from autonomous rideshare, autonomous freight, not even including Optimus or anything like that. I mean, the US spends about $3 trillion, $2 to $3 trillion on car repair, registration, all that stuff, insurance. So if you're able to deliver the same service for, let's say, 1 trillion or 1.5 trillion, you could probably take a significant amount of that spend and move it through a rideshare consumption model. So when you're really talking about hundreds of billions of dollars of revenue, maybe $1 trillion in revenue or more, when you're talking about a mature global network, then, and let's say Tesla takes, I don't know, 20% of that, 40% of that. It's not crazy to think that, especially on the freight side, you look at the Tesla Semi, which is going to be starting volume production next year. It sounds crazy, but, there's a path to tens or hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue. And, forget Optimus paired with this autonomous network, just the rideshare itself. If you see a shift of transportation dollars towards that kind of model, the demand to essentially just replace all that existing demand, let alone account for the increased demand as a result of the cost going down, it would be substantial. I mean, I think you could justify a valuation of Tesla between $2 to $5 trillion. And that could maybe play out by 2030-ish, somewhere around there. So looking at this software, I feel that I'm still a buyer for Tesla under a $2 trillion market cap. If there's a chance they could hit 2 trillion or 5 trillion in several years, then I'm comfortable paying $1.5 trillion or even as much as $2 trillion today. And it'll probably work out pretty well. Then, of course, as the rideshare opportunity blossoms, you've got the opportunity from Optimus dovetailing on top of that. Okay, if we can optimize driving and automate it so well that you actually have a level of safety that's greater than human, and the software is so precise, so powerful, and so safe that it can actually do that, well, what other things can Optimus automate? And that could be an opportunity that's an order of magnitude bigger than autonomy.
Well, it's handling these curves very well. It's not going too slow.
Yeah.
Too fast.
And that is a problem it's had here before, going too slow. I mean, it's handling it so well, I almost don't even think about it, It's just doing it. And that is the nice thing. You can think about whatever's going on in your life. You don't have to think about really what the car is doing, what direction it's taking. You just kind of have to watch and make sure it doesn't do anything crazy. Alright, it's going to make a left turn right here. This is going to be a little tough because it doesn't have a left turn arrow. So it needs to watch the traffic, which is coming in pretty thick, and then make a left turn while also respecting the cars that are there. And it did that perfectly smoothly. Alright, now we've got some challenging narrow roads here, hilly, bumpy, and traffic moving in both directions. So this is the kind of road that's challenging even for a human driver. Alright, we got an oncoming car. Very nice. Wow. Incredible.
So good.
The reflexes there, you really see that 2x improvement in photon-to control latency. It saw that thing coming and it just swung behind the mail truck in an instant. Before I could even lift a finger, it had reacted. So yeah, pretty incredible technology. I mean, imagine being someone who lives up here in Laurel Canyon. You live in one of these houses. Great neighborhood to live in. Ooh, look at that
Nice
black
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck. I wonder if they're running FSD 13 yet.
I hope so.
And that's the crazy thing, is it runs almost as well on Cybertruck as it does on the Model 3. So yeah, imagine you're that guy. You live up in Laurel Canyon. You've got a Cybertruck. Imagine what a pain in the ass it is every day just getting around your neighborhood, getting out onto the street to go anywhere. And now you've got FSD 13, and it just instantly can handle all those little decisions for you, pulling over to let someone pass, negotiating that that usage of a narrow road, and you just sit back and watch. Oh, okay, moved through that stop sign. That wasn't good.
Me too.
Seemed to kind of slow down for it, but then it was like, yeah.
It was a little hidden. I would have had trouble seeing it too, but yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. That can still happen, so you do need to be ready to take over. The proper thing for me to do would be to take over, but I saw there was nobody there, so I said, whatever, let's just run it. So there could be a little bit of refinement there needed. Right, we're gonna make a left turn here. Some trash bags in the street, a car halfway on the street. It's navigating through all that, squeezing its way through. Here we're gonna make another left. Making a right. Alright, here's a FedEx truck coming. It's pulling behind this Honda. Very nice. Cool. It's just automatic. Something that would probably make me annoyed if I was driving manually. When you're letting FSD handle it, you just say whatever. It's getting me there. And you can just kind of chill out and not worry too much about it. Alright. It's doing a pretty good job figuring out which way to go. Even I would probably be confused trying to look at the map here. Model Y, Model 3. This software will be helping all these people very soon. And here we are at our destination. And the car is gonna make a U-turn. Oh, it got to the end of the street. Oh, and here it parked. Interesting place to park, but there we go. So we did have one intervention, so to speak. When it ran that stop sign, I didn't actually intervene, but I was supposed to. And overall, it was a pretty nice, smooth drive. So thanks for watching, everyone. That's the first drive. Doesn't seem like it's too far out. hopefully it goes wide to everybody with AI4 very soon. Thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas.
I have an orange tree. Oh, did I do that before?